questions?
I'm here. What's next?
All right, let's see.
All right, so I guess we'll start. We're trying to start this. Yeah. All right, so this is our first Q&A with L&A in the goat barn. We're going to talk about, first I guess we'll start with an update about everybody. Moo, Rainey.
Well, for the first timers, welcome.
Welcome.
They might not even know what's going on here. Like, we have pregnant goats, a whole bunch of them.
We have a couple pregnant goats, 10 to be precise. They're all due with between 1 and 3, maybe 5, just kidding. Lucy, we're not quite sure how many she has, and based off of her size, I'm getting an idea that she might be pregnant with a baby hippopotamus. It's just an idea.
She's huge.
She's so big. But we call them fluffy, so nobody gets any body dysmorphia.
Good point. Fluffy goats.
Fluffy goats.
Husky.
No, fluffy.
I shop in the husky section.
No, you don't. Oh, good Lord. Do more Peloton biking and you won't be shopping in the husky section. You're not working on it. I'm working on it.
So we already have our first question in. And you mentioned that we have 10 goats, pregnant goats. And last night we had an issue with Moo, our mascot. Our goat that looks like a cow.
Our poor Moo. She's been through so much. Okay, so the update on Moo. First of all, I want to say if you're new here, please go over to Facebook. Not right now. Not right now. Hold your...
Leave. Yep.
Yeah. I was thinking of something funny, but
good.
It didn't come out right. So go over to Facebook on the SymanSaysFarms Facebook page, like us, and if you ever see something suspicious, whether that's with one of the pregnant girls or one of the babies in the future,
or the roof falls off the barn.
If the roof comes blowing off the barn, I'd really like to know about that.
Yeah, let us know.
So text me, private message me on Facebook. Send me several messages if it's like in the middle of the night so that it wakes me up. Because my volume's on loud and it's a really obnoxious ringtone, but I want to hear about it. So send me messages over and over and over again until I respond. Nothing is too minuscule, so don't hesitate. Something little like Moo's limping is a big thing. She broke her leg.
We're actually doing this Q&A because questions are coming in all day, every day, and we honestly can't keep up.
Well, I want to answer them, but I don't have all day to sit at the computer, and I like spending that time there. But I would like to answer them so that everybody gets the information all at once.
And then you guys can all work together and talk to each other.
Yeah. So, okay, Moo. So... got the whole overnight text me thing. The vet did come out and she did not take an x-ray because of where Moo was tender is a really hard place to get a good x-ray. So why bother? But based off of her physical exam, the vet says it's probably a fracture. So where it is, at the top of her hoof, behind. So not in the front of the hoof, but behind. Are these little sensitive, fragile bones, and with the way she got it stuck in the hay feeder last night, she hyperextended it and twisted at the same time. So it's a little fracture. She'll be in the cast for about 3 weeks. She cannot get it wet, so that's going to be an issue. That's why she has to stay away from the big girls. She cannot go outside because we just got, 1.5 feet of snow. No pain meds. This might sound mean, but it's for a couple reasons. One, I don't want to take her pain away and give her the confidence to go do another stupid thing. So with goats, it's kind of important for them to have a little bit of pain going so that it keeps them calm and makes them lay down and gives them a chance to not aggravate it and make it worse. Make sense?
Makes sense to me. Sadie was supposedly behind us.
She jumped up for a minute.
Yeah.
She jumped down. So we got, let's see, we've got some of our regulars are in here.
Which we love everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping such a close eye on the girls and helping out and spreading our channel and, I'm loving sharing our goats with you.
What happened? Okay. My phone just...
Someone said put a grocery bag over her foot.
Oh, right. So
yes.
That was actually kind of an idea, except goats are notorious for eating everything. So I don't want another goat, a friend, or Moo going to eat it, and now we have issues with her getting a blockage or something stupid. So for right now, 3 short weeks. You know, we'll make sure to spend the extra time with her and make sure she doesn't get bored. And if it dries out outside, by all means. But she cannot go on the goat swing.
I've got 2 questions that came in.
Okay.
And we're going to do our best to keep up.
Yep.
If they pop up to the top, we'll obviously get to them a little easier. But the first question is, how long have we had goats? And the second question is, why did Moo not get bred this year?
Oh, 2 good questions. All right, so this is our 5th season with goats. Our foundation herd, so far Lucy and Sadie have both had their 5th birthdays. They are our first goats, so 5 years. Why did Moo not get bred? So Moo got sick
About September, October.
about
right
a
before
month,
breeding season.
yeah, a month and a half before breeding season. And this has been a terrible season for parasites. And all animals, you, me, goats, horses, cows, pigs, chickens, we all carry a minuscule amount of parasites. And goats, particularly, when they just live. Like, it's a symbiotic relationship, right? They live together. And usually they don't cause issues except in certain weather conditions. So warm and wet are the ideal breeding grounds for worms. And this last summer, it never stopped raining and it was warm, but not like 100 degrees warm. It was like 85 to 90 degrees warm. Perfect breeding grounds for worms. So when they're out eating the grass and the grass gets really short, she just ended up in this cycle of, she got worms and she got so sick with them that she got anemic and she needed a blood transfusion from Rainey. Rainey has buyer's remorse about that, by the way, because she was voluntold.
Yes.
So she got a blood transfusion and she bounced back relatively quickly, but to be on the safe side, we didn't want her body to go right into a pregnancy, which is hard on a body, and then juggle a pregnancy and potentially more worm problems.
So I'm going to jump in and answer a quick question that came in while she gave you that explanation. Yes, Moo has had goats before.
Yes.
Babies, yes. Last
She's had
year.
2 sets of twins.
2 sets of twins.
She had twin bucklings her first year. No, wrong. I think she's had one of each year. Now I'd have to go back and check. No, 1 year was
She's
the
had
twin
babies.
girls. Yes, 2 sets of twins.
Okay, when did we start? How long have we had goats for?
5 years.
5 years.
Long enough.
No,
I'm
I've
just
already,
kidding.
Yeah, no, I answered that. 5 years. This is our 5th year of goats. This is our
Got it.
5th year of breeding as well because our first goats.
Oh, I got a good question just came in.
Oh boy.
What kind of beer is Aaron drinking?
Oh my God.
Two
Roads
roads.
today. They actually brewed here in Connecticut. I should call them for a sponsorship.
What
But
kind?
yeah, very good.
IPA?
An IPA. Yep, it's a good one. An Indian Pale Ale. Yep, it's a good one. It's the cold one that was in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yep, that was
Yeah,
good.
we
I
do
like
this
that
thing
kind.
in the summertime while we're milking. We'll have a bunch of friends over and we do beer in the barn. But for us ladies, it's like wine in the bar, but it just doesn't flow nicely. So we just call it beer in the barn.
Did you two always want to have a farm? Oh, funny question. So
I suckered him in before I told him my dreams.
Let me start. So I've always wanted to have more land, privacy. You know, I like people, but not that much. And actually, I deal with people all day long at work. So I wanted land, you know, dirt bikes, fun stuff like that. We were on 2 acres of land. I was driving home from work, and she calls me and goes, "Are you
in a different town? Yeah, different house.
Yeah, not here. Are you sitting down?" I'm driving. Of course, I'm sitting down. And that's when we got chickens, and that was how many years ago? Oh my God.
10.
Yeah, probably about 10 years ago. Fast forward, 10 chickens.
We moved to this property because I wanted goats. I remember going out on a date.
Yep.
I know the restaurant. I know what we were eating. And I remember saying, I'm so frustrated because we didn't have enough land, technically, legally.
Oh, yeah, we were breaking the law. We had chickens
Yeah.
and we weren't allowed to.
But I knew I wanted goats. But I knew if the town came to me and found out that we had goats and they told me to get rid of them, I would die. So I was like, we have to move. Yeah. So we looked for, 10 acres was kind of what we were looking for. This house kind of just fell in our laps. It was one of those meant to be stories. But one thing about this house, it has the 10 acres. It has a great house. It had nothing else. Yeah. It had like campgrounds because it was fully wooded. So we had to take down 8 acres worth of trees, all the outbuildings, this barn, the chicken coop, all the fencing, we did ourselves. So it's kind of now we didn't answer the question. No, we didn't always.
No, it just happened. It went from chickens to more chickens to like 200 chickens to then, okay, let's get some goats, like 3.
We started with 4.
The original 4, which lived in our red barn.
Right.
If you've watched our channel enough, by the way, for those only on the live feed, we had an old little red barn. We YouTube it all. We have like 400 videos on YouTube. They used to live in that little red barn until we built this one a couple of years ago. 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago, we built this barn. So, no, we never always wanted it.
I suckered him in.
Kind of.
It was too late. By the time I said I wanted a farm, it was too late. He was invested. We had kids. He's stuck with me.
Lori, we got about 20 babies being born in like 2 weeks. If you want to go, come on down.
She wants to.
Teresa asked a while ago, who do you think will birth first?
Oh, I missed that one. Good call. See, that's our moderator. Nice job.
All right, so I have a little.
And I saw another question come through too.
Yeah,
so
there's
go
a few.
Make it.
I have an inside. Short answer, possibly Sadie. I'm not really willing to commit to that though. Time-wise, it should be Rainey though. But she's a first freshener and I don't have any family history on her, so I don't know. It's not going to be Amy though. All the Togs, I was just talking about this, all the Toggenbergs, the brown ones with the white butts and stripes and stuff, they go 7 days past 150. So they give birth 157 days.
So where do I work? Everywhere. I work for a technical company and I travel. I work from home basically. I sell technology and Swanky Sauce. If you have not heard of it, my last name, I'm wearing that hat. Look at that. What a coincidence.
His last name's not Swanky.
My last name's not Swanky. We actually grow habanero peppers. We make a barbecue sauce. The link should be in the description somewhere.
Using my sweatshirt.
And then from there, that's what we do, farming other than the animals. We sell that product.
My hands are cold.
But mostly technical job is what I do. And then I saw another question come in, Liz.
Yeah.
What do you sell your kids for? And not the human kids, because those are for
Those
sale.
are negotiable.
Some of them might be for sale.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, one's birthday's tomorrow, so he's not for sale.
Excuse me.
And the other one's on
Friday.
Excuse me? What?
Your birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. And then
his birthday's tomorrow.
And then the other one is on Friday. So, but no, goat kids. What are you selling for
This year, so it's gonna range between $200 to about $400. And that depends on whether you want registered, show quality, just a pet, weather. Pet weathers are actually a little less, but usually people want milking dough. So 200 to 400 depending on breed.
Jamie said, Moo is adorable and my favorite goat, but all of them are adorable. What type of goat is Moo?
Oh, that was a good one.
Moo is adorable. I agree. Moo is only here because of our moderator and another friend who has, she's camera shy.
She was in Syman Says Saturday 71. Not this Saturday.
Is that my number?
We do a weekly episode every Saturday. That's kind of our ongoing YouTube thing. Every week, it's a family farming fun type of vlog. And we're on 70-something weeks in a row. So that's over a year for you guys counting.
Thanks for doing the math, just in case.
And our goat whisperer, or our Moo negotiator is
Moo was an impulse buy.
Moo was an impulse. Moo was a guilty buy, yeah.
Moo was peer pressure.
Did you ever answer the question?
No, Moo was an alpine.
We're sorry. This is our first time. Oh my God. They're never coming back. 71 people. Next week we'll have 1. They'll be like, those people are crazy.
Those guys are crazy. Flag them.
I saw somebody did ask where to buy Swanky Sauce. I put the link in the comments below.
Let's get swanky.com.
Exactly. Or Amazon. Just Google, just write the word Swanky Sauce in Amazon. There's 2 flavors, a hot and a mild.
For those of you Prime fans.
Yes.
So I'm a huge Prime buyer.
Yes.
Buy now.
Prime buyer is a good one. Yep.
Who has time to shop these days?
Yep. Somebody did say put a rubber shoe or a rubber boot on Moo, on her foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I could find, I was thinking about like the Flex Seal. The spray-on kind. You know, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They have the
with the
spray-on
shoes.
shoes.
Spray-on shoes
Those
would
are
work.
amazing.
Yeah.
They never come off.
They never come off though, so that's a problem.
Happy early birthday. Thank you.
He's gonna be
Party in the barn.
I don't
somebody
care.
said.
We're just getting started. It's only a number.
He's
Claudia
gonna be
said-
the 4-0 tomorrow. And I gave him Tyler on his 30th birthday, so Tyler's turning 10.
I want land. So do I. Oh, we got land. Not enough. And we might buy. There is another 16 acres behind us that someday might go up for sale. I don't know.
That just means more goats.
That just means cows.
This is my drinking break. What else do you want to know?
Yeah, I
Do
know.
your kids help out on the farm?
Do our kids have? That's a good question. So most of those ribbons you don't see above us are back when they used to show a lot.
Yeah. So I wish they would help more, but you know how like 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds, they kind of start wanting to do their own thing. Yes, they used to show and do a lot, but in the wintertime, I'm not a mean mom. I won't bring them out here. I don't want to be out here for very long, so why would I make them to be out here for very long? Yeah, they do a lot though in the spring, summer, and fall. They kind of get the winter off. But they do still occasionally come out. Excuse me.
Ooh, party in the barn. That sounds like a good idea.
That's what this was.
So, what else is going on around here? Hello. Let's see.
Somebody said, how would you deal with a buyer of a baby goat in another state?
So we've had
From?
buyers from New Hampshire, Maine, come all the way down.
Yep.
7-8 hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One way.
7-8 hours, came down, bought their goats, turned around and drove back home.
Really, I deal with buyers from another state the same way I deal with everybody. Everybody gets a solid interview, let's say. I want to know what I'm looking for to make sure that the goats are going to the right home. I want to make sure that the buyer has done their homework. So you know about proper fencing, you know about proper housing, you know about proper nutrition. It's not all going to be exactly the way I do it, and that's fine. I don't expect you to do it the same way I do it. But to have some knowledge on goats before you buy the goats is a huge thing. Don't buy a goat for your kid.
Don't buy it just to eat brush, and you have no
Right.
fencing, no housing. Goats
Right.
are escape artists. Yes,
Right.
they'll eat all your poison ivy,
Sure.
but they'll also leave and never come back.
Or
Or they'll
eat
eat your
something
rhododendra
poisonous.
and die.
Right.
I mean,
have
so-
some basic knowledge
yeah.
on goats. I always say, I guess we run things a little differently here in that I always offer lifetime breeder support. So whether you bought a rabbit from me, a chicken from me, a goat from me, last week, month, year, 2 years, I'm always going to be here to ask questions and be support. I've got clients that still text me, something happened with my goat. What should I do? Okay, well, here's what you should do. So I'm always here for that.
So yes, I'm gonna jump just right to the next question.
Yeah. What was the question?
I saw tomorrow's birthday is also Moo's. So
it is Tyler's birthday goat.
Tyler, Moo, and myself all tomorrow. And then I saw a question come through: is how many bunnies do we have? That's one thing you never count.
Not in front of your husband.
There's probably about, I'm gonna guess.
Bunnies
she
or
literally
rabbits?
exactly.
Total,
That's a good question.
Total rabbits or just the bunnies that were just born?
So lately, if you're following us, again, YouTube, Instagram, not so much. Facebook
is
things like that.
Yeah.
We just had one give birth to 7, 2-3 days ago.
I had a little 2-pound Netherland Dwarf, smallest rabbit breed in the rabbit kingdom. 2-pound Netherland Dwarf gave birth to 7 bunnies, and yes, they're all perfectly healthy. Mom's feeding them really well. No peanuts, no issues. I'm shocked.
So somebody asked, who is it? Griffith, I don't know who is it, what that's referring to. But the other question was, a lot. There's probably about 50 rabbits here total
I would
on the
say.
farm.
They're
But-
not all staying.
Yeah,
but
they're not all staying. They get sold. They move on. They go to friends, to pet homes, show homes, things like that. The other question was, will we move the camera as goats give birth? The answer is yes. The style of camera we have is movable. It's very, you've seen us, maybe some of you, where we can walk around the barn and move. It's got about a 1 hour battery life and can still feed to YouTube if I stay close enough to Wi-Fi.
Within Wi-Fi.
Within
yeah.
Wi-Fi range.
Sorry,
So
getting
yes,
cold.
you guys got moved to sit here for tonight, and you'll get moved into each pen as the birthing is happening. Wherever the most action is where you will go, but I will clarify that we have the right to kill the camera if we feel necessary. We'll start with audio first if it gets a little weird, like the goats are screaming, because they do that sometimes.
I mean,
we may
giving
turn,
birth is painful.
we may
so-
just turn the camera back to another goat that's not having a baby and just put in the comments, we're in the middle of a tough delivery, we'll be back in a little bit. Or we'll let you watch the whole thing if it's a clean delivery.
So here's
we'll
here's
see
my
how it
feelings.
goes.
My feelings on this is we've always supported education. So if you're interested in animals and birthing animals, then yeah, I'm not going to turn away unless it's something extreme. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the odds are there's going to be a complication. That's just statistics and odds. Every year we have one.
Yeah.
And it just happens. Educationally, though, we've learned so much through those complications that something that we might have needed help with 2 or 3 years ago, we might not need help with this year. Like, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, with the one goat last year that had a complication, even the vet had a tough time. That she is an amazing goat vet, been doing it forever, specializes in goats, and even she had trouble. So
she had to go back to her...
We only call in the experts when experts are needed.
Yeah. So our vet, I'm going to do a shameless...
I got more questions
Sure,
coming.
I'm going to do a shameless plug on our vet because I love her. If anybody's local to Connecticut, New England, whatever,
that was a good one.
What?
This person just commented it's going to be like the NFL red zone for goats. And I'm like, that was a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's exactly
Yes,
what
our
it's gonna
vet,
be.
her name is Dr. Kara, is what I call her, but it's Dr. Kara Nesser. She's amazing. She's always been our goat vet. I would never have anybody, I would never trust, I can't do this without her.
No.
Like, she's my sanity when I feel anxious
So
about
if you
hitting season.
so if you were following this morning, right? Emergency text message comes in.
I just text her. She calls me. She's like, "I'll be there at noon. Don't
She
worry
casted
about
the
it."
foot and
She
done.
didn't even X-ray it. She just cast it. She's like, off to the next. But she is.
And she'll send me the bill later.
Yeah.
That's basically how it works.
How that works.
But-
yeah,
but
she's
the
amazing.
point- but the
she's
point
so
there-
thorough, though.
The point there is, you call her, she reacts, she shows up, she gets the job done, and leaves, all within like a 4-hour window.
She also knows that we know our shit.
We know her. Yeah.
Sorry.
We're not
if
calling.
there's kids, I'm sorry.
If they're-
If she knows what she's doing, she knows that we know what we're doing too. This is a 5-year relationship we've had with her too.
So back to another human kids, we have 4, ranging from 13 almost.
On
to
Friday.
Friday he'll turn. This is a big year. We got one turning 13, one turning 10, and I'm turning 40. So it's a big year for 3 of us.
Yeah. 13, 10, 6, and she'll be 5 and
Yeah, 3 boys, 1 girl, 4 of us.
girl's the youngest.
There was a question that came through. I don't know if you caught it.
I am
saw
not.
it.
I have several.
Yeah. Okay.
Do
What do
you
you got?
milk your goats and sell goat milk products?
So we do milk our goats. The babies stay on mom for a solid 3 months. During that time, we don't really get any milk. We might squeeze some milk out if mom has a singleton and she's making too much milk, but that's based off of her production. If she's getting engorged, Genevieve usually has a singleton and she always gets engorged the first week or 2 until her body regulates. So we'll milk her, but yes, we do make goat milk products. We make lotion. We make our personal use goat cheese, but we aren't a commercial dairy, so we're not allowed to sell it to the public.
And I'll talk a little more about that. We consume our own milk. We'll drink it. We literally milk the goat, run it through a filter.
We don't pasteurize or anything.
Yeah, like a
It's
coffee
raw.
filter.
Yeah, but we don't boil it to
We don't-
pasteurize
yeah,
it.
right through
it's raw goat milk.
I'm trying real hard to not talk over you. See, this is like this is
It's
almost
kind of
like
a-
marriage counseling,
is.
learning how to communicate. So,
That's my biggest pet peeve.
yeah, I'm bad at it. Well, if I don't say it, I'll forget it. And what I wanted to say was, yes, we started the farming thing. Let me go way back.
Way back.
To get closer to our food. That's really it. I'm a food kind of guy. That's where Swanky Sauce comes from. I did 15 years in the restaurant business, all that stuff. But our food in our country is gross. So we got our own eggs. We started raising our own chickens and then went to meat chickens. She squeezed the leg. That means it's her turn to talk.
I want to add my reasoning
Go
was
ahead.
more, it has evolved, yes. It went from, we want to make sure that we know exactly what's in our food. So all the hormones in the milk and the beefing up the chickens with God knows what, and antibiotics and all of that, that's how it started. It evolved into, I want to make sure that my animal had the best quality life.
Good call.
And I know what went into that animal, not just the food that went into it, but its housing. It was loved. Like, we raise a meat cow every year. That cow is so spoiled, and it's all about the quality of life, not the quantity of life. And it has then evolved into what a lesson to give to our kids. Society is so detached from our food that we get ignorant comments like, why would you kill that chicken? Why don't you just go buy some chicken at the grocery store where it didn't have to die?
Pause. If you didn't hear that, that was
rewind.
An actual comment we got from a follower back in the day.
Why don't you just go buy your chicken at the grocery store where nothing had to die?
Yeah, so that's kind of why we're
like
here.
There's a chicken tree that you just go pluck the breasts off of?
She's getting energized. We need another question before she throws her wine.
All right, I have several.
Okay, go
How
ahead.
many goats are you milking now?
Well, right now, zero.
Zero.
But once they have babies, it'll be 10.
All 10 will be milking.
But we won't start milking them until we sell all the babies.
3 months.
Is 3 months. The babies stay with mom. They get raised on mom, and then they get sold 3 months later. So that'll be end of April, May, June. Basically, by the 4th of July, they all go home. You know, pretty much right before the 4th or right after.
It's usually around Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Is when we start inviting people to come and pick up their goats.
Yeah, and goat.
No.
It's 4th of July. This year.
Yeah,
it'll be about 4th of July. They start going home, but prospective customers,
they'll come visiting.
They'll start visiting right away. We have a waiting list of people waiting for goats. Once they're born, and we're like, hey, we have a girl for you. We have a boy. She's got it all under control. I sell technology. She sells goats. Yeah. Do you got another one?
Will you have extra hands there for the births in case several are birthing at the same time?
Yes. The lady that just read the question will be here.
Yep, she's on call.
She's on call. So
she's doing her happy dance.
We have about 3 or 4 local friends within a mile of the house, and they're on a specific text feed that says they don't care if they get messages at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That's a special group of crazy people. And we will send out a message to them. It's go time. And
I have three or 4 other people who are in the category of colleagues. Other goat farmers that we know that are not as local as our neighbors and friends.
Plus our mother-in-law will be in town. She's coming out.
She's really in charge of the kids inside.
Yeah, she helps with the human kids and things because we still have to deal with their bus schedules. Last year we did have 3 or 4 goats go at the same time, right in the middle of bus routine to get the kids on and off the bus. So she took care of that. And we do still need to eat, occasionally. Last year we slept in the barn for 2-3 days, pretty much lived in here about 20 hours a day.
While having the flu.
Yeah, and the flu. Yeah, so
we're gonna try not to do that again this year.
A lot of the help really is on running how we could deal with the goats. We could birth out all these goats almost on our own. It's the other stuff.
It's life.
It's life that gets in the way. Damn laundry.
Stupid.
Right.
How dare you?
I know.
Another one? Do you eat any goats?
Ooh. Not our own.
Not our own.
We do go to some Spanish supermarkets, and we do pick up some goat meat there, but not our own.
It's actually very good. It's the most consumed red meat in the world, but we have 2 places. The Spanish market, if you want it pre-cooked, and then there's a butcher about an hour from here that has everything from alligator meat to goat meat to all weird stuff, and we go there and pick it up, but we don't eat our goats.
I will say the reason we don't eat our goats
It's because they're not meat goats.
Well, that's the second reason.
Yeah.
My first reason though is I did birth these goats. That's like,
So back somebody said I couldn't be able to eat it if I saw it get slaughtered. So our cow that we raise every year, we don't see it get slaughtered either.
No.
So we buy the cow at 2-3 days old from a local cow farmer. That cow drinks all our goat milk, so it gets raised on milk for a good 60 to 90 days. It lives in about a 2-acre pasture all by itself. It gets hay and water, and then at about 200 days old, we send it off to butcher, and then they call us when it's ready, and our kids eat that food, and our kids understand that there better not be a piece of
Not
meat
even a little
this
morsel.
big left on your plate that you throw in the garbage, because it's just respect for the animal.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
they also, a very typical farm kid question at dinner time. Oh, is this Stewie?
Yeah.
Because we name our animals, so they'll
Yeah.
ask, is this Honey? That was a pig that we raised. A neighbor raised it, but we helped feed it. So they'll ask, who is this? And it's like, oh God. That's one of the byproducts of knowing exactly where your food came from.
So somebody just said apparently store-bought meat hasn't been slaughtered. Is that what I think I just read? And McDonald's is actually working on meat that is not meat,
It's gross.
I don't know what the hell it's going to be corn flavored like meat is pretty much what, but they're literally working on a way to make
chicken flavored tofu.
meat that doesn't involve animals. That's ridiculous. But yeah, I heard that somewhere.
Rachel asked, what breeds of chickens do you have?
Ooh, good question. My butters. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that's a question for me.
Go ahead, chicken lady.
You want to?
Ow, no, hang on.
Oh, you need a padded
That's a good
seat.
one. All right.
All right, so these are our birthing towels. We have lavender Americanas, which lay a robin blue egg. We have lavender Orpingtons that have the same lavender plumage, big-bodied birds. They lay big-bodied birds. They lay like a cream-colored egg. We have silkies, which are like the poofy Dr. Seuss type birds. They're just ornamental type cute ones. Then we've got copper morans, blue, black, and splash copper morans. They lay a deep chocolate brown egg, and olive eggers, which is just what they sound like. They lay olive colored eggs. I think that's all the ones we do.
Yeah, I think that's it. We have about 95, I think now. The chicken business is slowing down.
We're focusing.
Because everybody's getting chickens.
Well,
Yeah,
one of the
everybody.
things
That is true.
One of the things that our vet says is you don't want to go and do a lot of things okay. You want to do one or two things really good. So that's where we kind of downsize the chicken business to focus on rabbits and goats, and things are going well
And to
there.
be honest, I love the YouTube thing, but it takes a lot of time.
It does.
Making all the videos, posting them. I mean, over 400 videos in a year and a half. And the editing and all that takes a while. So the chicken business,
Something
and
has to give. You can't do it all.
Last year's snow collapsed our whole chicken run, which created those 4 special breeds. All ended up crossbreeds because they all mixed together.
The roosters were mingling.
The roosters were out and about, and it made a huge mess. And it it's that momentum thing. It crushed the momentum, and we haven't done it yet. They literally just started laying 90 chickens, and I get 2 eggs.
Yeah, well, that's winter with chickens.
So right, yep.
With an aging flock too.
I don't know if I missed one, but I see the rabbit one. Raised for show and some for meat.
We don't raise for meat anymore. We did try meat. Again, that goes back to if I'm not going to like the meat, I'm not going to raise it. We didn't like the rabbit meat, so
we still ate it.
We did still eat
We
it,
still
but
ate it.
I did not want to continue with that. We did a small test batch of rabbit meat, and I think maybe it's because we don't know how to cook it because it's really lean.
Could be.
But no, not feeling it. So we do just breed rabbits for pet and show.
Yep. I saw something about deer meat. Yes, deer meat's good, but I missed my deer this year. Well, we won't talk about that.
That's a tough subject.
Yeah, next year we'll get a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone says, what if several of the goats start kidding all at once?
Yep. So last
Will
year
be
was
fun.
our first time, having 3 goats give birth within an hour. So Genevieve was first. She pushed out Harper, and as she was delivering Harper, Sadie went.
Yep.
Sadie went and had twins, and as we were helping her latch her babies, Lucy started pushing.
So it's literally like one goat every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was almost
it was back to back to back.
Yeah.
And then, less than 12 hours after that,
Yep.
Amy finally released her little hostages.
Yep.
And she had her twins before midnight that night.
Lori, to answer your question, no, the eggs don't taste different when they come from different breeds.
Mm-mm.
They all taste the same. No
Oh.
matter the color, shape, the little silky eggs taste the same as a
Yep.
big, huge Moran egg.
Yeah.
It takes 3 silky eggs to make a
That's the only difference.
2. It's 3 eggs to every 2 on the others. We have seen double yolkers. Nobody asked that question. We've actually seen fart eggs before. Yes,
Those are the little eggs that have no yolk in them.
It's
They're
a-
really little.
It's really like the size of a grape, like a green grape size egg with no yolk in the middle. It's all white. It's a fart egg. The chicken.
Or a fairy egg.
The rubber
or,
one.
I like fart
or
egg.
the-
The ones where you don't get the
Oh,
shell.
rubber
There's
ones.
ones with no shells. Yeah.
Someone asked, do the male goats have their own barn?
They have their own individual calf hutches, which is a 3-sided building. And yeah, they stay nice and toasty warm in there with a nice deep bedding. And when we do have some weather, we'll make sure to throw them extra hay that actually goes in their hutch instead of in their hay feeder, which is outside in their paddock area. But they are actually a lot more resilient than people think. They have a nice winter coat. So they're very happy out there.
So Lori just asked a question, and we kind of answered it, but I want to add a little more. Do we have extra help? For kidding season, yes, we have extra help. We have no employees.
We have no hired
This
help.
is a family
We don't-
hobby
yeah.
that has turned into a little bit of a business with the Swanky Sauce and the lotion and obviously the animal sales. But I'm just going to put it out there because this is education. You don't break even. We'll sell 20 baby goats this year at about $200 a piece.
It doesn't even start.
Doesn't even start to cover the cost of all the hay, all the vet bills, all the electricity. I mean, I'm heating 6 waterers right now in the dead of winter. You know,
The
so
electric bill. Oh my
that's
God.
that's not where it is. So no, during the year it's not a business. We don't have help. We don't have employees. But during kidding season, we have more than enough people that want to be here during.
We have a
baby.
lot of friends and family
Yeah.
who just are really supportive, and you know, they kind of live vicariously through us. You know, they don't want
Right.
to have the responsibility of the goats, but they're more than happy to help, and we're more than happy to have the help.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone asked, what was the biggest number for one mama during a birth?
3.
Yep, for us triplets.
We've had
Yep.
2 sets of triplets
Yep.
in the last 5 years, and I will tell you, I hate triplets.
Triplets are not
Just
fun.
saying.
Yep.
They have a very difficult time lining 3 babies up in the correct position. So it's usually always an assisted, complicated delivery.
Yeah, I don't have no, we won't get into that. We'll save that for another day. Proper positioning for goat delivery.
Diving
Diving, yeah.
is what I like to see. I like to see 2 little hooves with a nose right there.
Anyone getting close? I would say close.
Closer than yesterday.
Yeah, closer than yesterday. Good call, but
Yeah.
I would say within the next 24 hours, I'm not thinking anything's happening within
No.
the next 24 hours.
So, all right. So here's
Other than me going to get thousands of bottles of Swanky Sauce from
and
my
wine.
distributor.
Just kidding.
Oh, not really?
I could
Okay.
really use some more.
More wine, and I gotta go pick up Swanky Sauce from my distributor. So
So I will say, here's what's going to happen over the next couple days now that more girls are going to come into that. Yes, it's possible, but it's not quite their due date. So goats are pregnant for 150 days, but that's give or take 5 days. So 145 days is not considered preterm. 155 days is still okay. Unless you're Toggenburg, and then it's 157 days. You following? Take notes.
Or whenever.
Yeah.
or
Toggenburgs are on their own schedule. But but once they hit their 145 days, that's when I start feeling those ligaments that we've been talking about. I watch for udder development. I watch for any subtle personality changes. And if I don't feel any changes, they're not moving into a kidding stall.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to get up, get their butts outside, get some exercise. It's good for their bodies. It keeps them moving. It keeps all that, keep them with the herds. Okay, so that's what the routine is going to be. Checking ligaments. Nobody's moving into a kidding stall unless I feel like they're making progress towards kidding soon.
I saw one here somewhere. When will Moo join with the others? She was told 3 weeks of not getting wet. Joining others will be weird because the others are going to start getting separated. So we might move her back, but she might only be with one other.
So the ultimate plan
Who
before
knows?
Moo got hurt last night was for everybody to have their own kidding area, so that they can have their private area right before having babies, up to a week or two after they have their babies, to solidify that bond. Then they'll all start moving back into Gen Pop. During the time where all 10 are separated, focusing on their kids, Moo and Harper, who are the only two that aren't pregnant, are going to stay on half of where they are right now. From like the people door into the Gen Pop over to the outside door. That's going to be their own little play area. Now that Moo hurt herself, we might not be able to open that door during that time if it's wet. She has to keep that cast dry. So we're going to kind of play that part by ear, but before last night, that was our plan.
You got another one?
I got 2. What goat breed would you recommend for someone new to goats? And also, will the camera come down once the babies are weaned?
You take the good goat, I'll take the camera.
Which breed would I recommend for a
somebody.
first timer?
Not Nubians.
Okay, so Nubians and Nigerian dwarfs are known for being loud.
And everybody
very
loves them because
loud.
they're so little.
All right, the Nubians, everybody loves Nubians because they have the long ears and they've got a unique face. Great, perfect. They're loud. Nigerians, they're super cute. They say small. And somebody who wants to enter into a goat but is maybe a little intimidated by a full-size dairy goat might be like, but I can still get some milk and all that. Wait until they cackle like the Wicked Witch of the West, like the one goat did at the goat show. I'm telling you,
YouTube it.
you cannot unhear that. And it goes on and on and on. So, yes, I love Nigerians. I love the colors that you can get from them. But I figure if I'm going to feed an animal, I want to get the most out of that animal. Hence why we went with full-size dairy breeds. And I really love, obviously, I'm a little partial to the Alpine, Toggenburg, La Manchas. Saanens are really nice, great producers. You're stuck with solid white, though. They don't come in any other colors. Oberhasleys are another nice breed. They make some good milk. Nubians make different milk, so
it kind of depends on what you're looking for.
It really depends on what are you doing with the goat.
Right. Are you looking for a companion to live out in the yard and keep it? I haven't, the 2.5 acres out here, we don't mow it, right? Because the goats take care of it all. And technically they can handle the other side too, but the cow goes over there. So it all depends on what you're looking for, but certain breeds.
If you're looking for milk and breeding purposes, I honestly, and I don't want to, I would honestly stay away from the Nigerians. They have a tough time delivering because they have larger heads, and because they're a dwarf breed, they just have smaller openings. So you get a lot of complicated deliveries, a lot of C-sections with that breed.
Yeah. So the camera question, that's still up in the air. So we will leave it all the way through weaning, right? After weaning, I don't know if people will be excited enough to watch. So we're not sure what we're going to do. We're thinking about actually upgrading our camera system eventually to allowing multiple angles where you guys watching can decide what angle you want to watch, especially in the summer. You would have
spend a lot of time outside.
They're going to spend so much time outside, and this camera is not an outdoor camera, so I can't use this. So I'd have to invest and figure out what I want to do, but make it so you guys can watch the goats outside in the grass playing over by the water or sunbathing. We do want to keep it running pretty much all year. And obviously it'll spike during kidding season, the activity of, Q&As like this, but I can't see us doing a Q&A in the middle of the summer. I mean, I don't know. The answer is yes, we want to keep it up.
I always say in an ideal world, I'd love to keep it up indefinitely.
Right. But
ideal world.
Right.
But we don't know what's going to come up and, if you guys are going to want to watch all the time or what our situation will be. So don't worry.
Somebody just said we're amazing, so I had to cut you off. Sorry.
True.
Thank you. I haven't read it all, but thank you.
She also asked if you guys are expecting triplets this year.
We
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
We have at least one with possibly confirmed triplets.
Two. Two or three are okay. So after we breed the goats, 45 days after, we have the vet come to do ultrasounds, and that's a good time that you can count like the little sacs with embryos in them, and if they're not too big where they're hiding each other or they're blocking the view. So during that time, we get a rough idea of how many each goat is having, and I write in my little notes, 1, maybe 2, depending on what we see, 2, maybe 3, definitely just 2. We have, off the top of my head, we have 3 goats that are 2, maybe 3.
So I have a very interesting question, cool question to understand for people that don't know us that well and aren't from around here. How far is the barn away from the house? It's about 100 feet.
Yeah, 100
roughly.
200 feet, yeah.
Roughly 100 feet.
If you're counting the garage.
Yeah, not counting the garage.
Yeah.
From us to the garage is only about 50, 60 feet. And then you got to get through the garage to the actual house. So you're 100 feet away from heat. So when it's cold out,
Yeah.
you got 100 feet to go. When you're running in the middle of the night, so what happens, actually, this suit you see me wearing will literally be laid on the floor next to the bed, unzippered,
We're like firemen.
with a pair of sweatpants next to it, so I can literally jump out of bed, get dressed, and be in the barn in about 18 seconds, usually.
It's fast.
Like the boots, like firemen, the boots are there, everything is laid out perfectly, so you could pretty much do it blindfolded.
Jump from the bed into your...
Yep, in the middle of the night. You don't have to run to the kitchen to go get your gloves or whatever.
Find anything.
Everything's in the bedroom, lined up, ready to go. So it's about 100 feet was the answer. And we're running almost an hour already. So,
Okay.
and we got a
So we'll
human kid inside that needs to go to bed.
So we'll take a couple...
It's a school night.
Yeah, we'll take a couple more questions and then wrap it up.
Yep.
If there are a
So
couple
one
more
more,
questions.
someone asked, how are your rabbits doing?
They're doing great.
Here, I'll go get one.
Yeah, they're doing
So
great.
she had a litter of Netherlands and a litter of Hollands. Finally got chocolate, Harley, Vienna Mart.
Ooh, those are nice colors. So we all of our pregnant, like late pregnant moms or moms who have babies that are less than 8 weeks old, they all live in our house. So all the ones that are in the rabbitry right now are either not pregnant, they're the boys, or they're babies with moms, but they're older than 8 to 12 weeks old. So here comes one of my little nuggets. So this is one of Dixie's babies. She's about 3 months old. And she's considered I want to say she's just a dark, she's a dark lilac otter, or she's a blue otter.
You picked your cutest one.
She is
I
brilliant.
did pick one of
This
the
is
cutest.
the only one,
In
only
that-
baby in this barn right now that I'm considering keeping, and she's a girl.
Yeah.
You're very cute. I love you so
Oh,
much.
the color's not true.
Huh?
The color's
Oh,
not
the color's not
true.
showing up?
Mm-mm.
Aw.
She
Oh,
looks a lot darker.
Oh, so she's a lot lighter in person, but she's so cute. Yes.
She matches her sweater.
She matches my sweatshirt. She's
You have to keep her.
camouflaged.
What rabbit?
Yeah, you're right. They can't see her over there.
I see nothing.
Yeah.
Someone asked, what is your Insta account?
Simon Says Farms.
Simon Says Farms.
And Let's Get Swanky.
So yeah, I'll spell it out. SYMAN.
I don't
Says
keep up with
Farms.
that. I'm really bad. I had to choose which account I wanted to keep up with, and Facebook won, and YouTube won. I can't do it all.
Let's get swanky.
Some people might think I'm a superwoman, but I'm not.
Let's get swanky. There, I typed them both in the description if you're looking. Those are the 2 Instagrams, Simon Says Farms and Let's Get Swanky. Yep. All right, so I think we're signing off. Where'd my beer go?
You finished.
Did you
it.
lose
Ah,
it?
shit, I finished. No, I think I put it down when I got the rabbit. That's fine. I'll find it later. I'll bring the bunny back.
All right, we'll do another update in the morning. I'll give it to Nona. She'll post it, and
Yep.
I don't know.
That's
Things
it.
are gonna get pretty busy.
We're gonna get, yeah,
Pretty busy.
I'm thinking,
I think Rainey's gonna hit her due date minimum
which is when?
3 days from now.
3 days from now, so
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday.
March
yeah.
7th is
I'm
her
thinking,
due date.
yeah, I'm thinking Thursday or Friday we'll have one goat babies on the ground.
Maybe.
Maybe. By Sunday, we may get one more, but by Wednesday of next week,
I think it's gonna start getting
all
interesting
hell breaks